Hi, in this video I'm going to describe the different types of intervals. Basically we have two types. The first one is the finite interval. This interval has a starting point and an ending point, and it is restricted part of the number line. The second type of intervals is the infinite interval. This interval has no end, at least from one side, and it can have no end from both sides. So let's see how can we represent these types of intervals using three different styles of writing. The first style is inequality, while the second is set notation, and the third is interval notation. For example, this one, if we are going from the left to the right, the first point that we will find is -3. This is the starting point for this interval, so the starting point is -3. And as we go to the right, we find that the ending point is 2, because this is the point at which the bold line ends, and x is located between -3 and 2. X can have no values less than -3, and it can also have no values greater than -2. So we can represent this using inequality by saying x greater than -3 and less than 2. It remains one question: does x equal -3 and does x equal 2? The answer to this question is to look at the circle at both numbers. This circle and the other one are shaded circles. Shaded circle means that the numbers are included inside the interval, so we must put the sign of equality here and here. In order to represent this in the set notation, all we have to do is to draw this bracket and say x such that x greater than -3 and less than, greater than or equal -3 and less than or equal 2. Finally, in interval notation, the starting point, which is -3, comma, the ending point, which is 2. 2 is included because the circle is shaded, as we said before, so we have to put a square bracket here. -3 is not included. -3 is included also because it has a shaded circle also, so we have to put a square bracket here. Let's see the other example, this one. As we go from the left to the right, the first point that we will find is -3, so the starting point is -3 and the ending point is 2. X is located between -3 and 2. The relation between x and -3 is x is always greater than -3, but it is also always less than 2. Does x equal -3? The answer is no, because this circle is not shaded, so we don't have to put sign of equality here. Does x equal 2? The answer is yes, because this circle is shaded, so we have to put the sign of equality here. Again, in set notation, we have to do this bracket, x such that, and we copy again this part, x greater than -3 and less than or equal 2, and we close the bracket. In interval notation, we have the starting point, which is -3, comma, the ending point, which is 2. 2 is included, so it takes square bracket. -3 is not included, so it takes rounded bracket. And this is the answer for these finite intervals. Let's move on to check the answer for the infinite intervals. For example, this one, as we go from the left to the right, the first thing that you will meet is this arrow. This arrow means that the bold line, the interval, is going to -infinity, is going where it has no end. So the starting point is assumed to be -infinity, while as we go to the right, you will find that this bold line ends at 2. so the ending point is 2, x is located somewhere between them, such that x is always greater than negative infinity, because nothing is less than negative infinity and nothing is equal to negative infinity. At the same time, x is less than 2 because the bold line ends at the value of 2. It remains the question, does x equal 2? The answer is yes, because this circle is shaded one, so we have to put the sign of equality here. In set notation, all we have to do is to open the bracket x such that x greater than negative infinity and less than or equal 2, and don't forget to close the bracket again. In interval notation, the starting point is negative infinity and the ending point is 2. 2 is included inside the interval, so it takes a square bracket. Negative infinity always takes rounded bracket. Let's check the solution of the last example, this one. As we go from the left to the right, the first thing that we meet is this point, which is 2. So the starting point is 2, and the bold line continues to go in this direction. So we found this arrow. This arrow represents that the interval goes to infinity, positive infinity. So the ending point is assumed to be positive infinity. X is located anywhere between 2 and positive infinity, such that x is always greater than 2 and it is always less than positive infinity, nothing greater than positive infinity, and at the same time nothing can be equal to positive infinity. And the question remains, does x equal 2? The answer is no, because the circle is not shaded circle, so we don't have to put sign of equality. In set notation, we say that x such that x greater than 2 and less than or equal, less than positive infinity, and we close the bracket. Finally, in interval notation, the starting point is 2, comma, the ending point is positive infinity. Positive infinity, just like negative infinity, always takes rounded bracket, and 2 is not included in the interval, so it also takes rounded bracket.